More climbing hydrangeas, you got it.
Today we've got Hydrangea petiolaris early light.
This is an insane variegated climbing hydrangea, guys. Great sizes on these. They're in our 1 gallons. The variegation on this thing is nuts. It is a frosted type variegation. Kind of gives you a cool feel to it. We talked about these before. I love putting them on wooden structures. You can put it on a fence. You can put it on an old oak tree. They love the shade. You can put this in an area where you've got, not a lot of interest. That bright white variegation is going to light up a dark spot in the garden. I'm actually planning to put some wood and have a collection of these along one of our metal fences. So I'm going to screw some wood in there for it to kind of grip onto our metal fencing, because I think it's a perfect plant to screen out a neighbor. So we've got high 6-foot fences. I'm going to kind of let this take some of the fence work.
I love what this climbing hydrangea does. Early light has this unique sand dusting variegation on the new growth that is just outstanding. It's one of the most pure white colors of any of those climbing hydrangeas. And that's the cool thing about each of these climbing hydrangeas we're beginning to offer. They have unique styles of variegation, all in their own respect, but at the same time, they all climb on wood.
Right.
They get blooms to them, and they just make a dynamic display even when the blooms aren't there.
Did you mention it's going to flower as well? That's like the last thing we talked about. These are fun because, guys, you can play with the structures. You can put this over an arbor. You can get as creative as you want in the landscape. I've seen people stake these up to about 4 to 5 feet, then take the stake off, get a good base, let them stand alone as a shrub in the landscape themselves. Looked really cool as well. If you're not familiar with this style of variegation, it looks a lot like Naguri Nishiki or Ukigumo at peak color. We're here in July. You're still getting that peak color right now.
Now what you do to get these things started is you take one of these branches like so, and you take a light string and wrap it around, starting on whatever wood you've got. If it's a tree, if it's a fence, if it's just a piece of wood over an arbor, that's how you start it. And then it'll actually grow little hairs essentially into that wood. Hang on, and guys, it begins climbing.
Climbs little hairs like Spider-Man.